Off we go on a Thursday. Welcome inside the vault, man. Sarah, the live chat energy right now is, I think, infectious. I can just feel it through this computer screen. It's the 18th of September, week 3 of this NFL season. I'm Bobby Trossett. This is Sarah Ellison. And courtesy of our friend, Sarah, and our VAULTRON, man, he is a deluxe, if there is ever such a thing, VAULTRON. Eric Hill, we are giving away 2 tickets, thanks to Eric's generosity, to Monday Night Football's matchup between the Ravens and the Lions. It's a blockbuster one, and it's all going down at the bank. So you guys know the drill by now, I think. If you leave a comment when it comes to these giveaways, at least, with the hashtag Vault, you will be eligible to randomly hear your name selected coming up at the end of this stream. So leave a comment with the hashtag Vault, and you'll be potentially eligible, Sarah, to be sitting in section 126. This isn't just in the bank. This is the lower bowl, okay? And I'll tell you, and I'll show you, rather, later on in between topics where that actual viewpoint's going to be inside the bank in terms of that sectional view. So all that is what we have to look forward to, and we haven't even gotten to the content yet. But before we do, it's great to see you. Happy Thursday.
It's good to see you, and it's good to have a VAULTRON like Eric Hill. What a great giveaway today. 2 tickets, Monday Night Football. When the Ravens are in all black, taking on the Lions, who are going to try to come in and get some revenge from a couple of years ago when the Ravens beat them down. Section 126. What a great giveaway today. Get your hashtags in.
What the heck? I decided to pull it up now. Here it is. I mean, this is a heck of a field view right here. I mean, you're just inside the 50, basically. So section 126, we won't actually give out the seating numbers until, well, we won't at all until the winner is given them, through Eric and whatnot. He'll facilitate that. And I do want to say, Sarah, just quickly, because I don't even know if I'm guessing you haven't had a chance to read Eric's email yet. Wow. What an unbelievably powerful, vulnerable, everything special email that we received from Eric, and just out of obviously courtesy to him, we haven't gotten this cleared yet. I won't read it for everybody, not that there's anything crazy in it. It's just very, very personal, very private, and I know that I appreciated, and Sarah, once you do end up reading it as well, you'll appreciate the fact that he feels comfortable enough within this community to share a lot of what he shared with us. So salute to Eric. We look forward to that giveaway coming up later on in the show. And here's what we've got in terms of football content, Sarah. Isaiah Likely has made a proclamation, and it sent a live crowd at Jimmy's Famous Seafood last night into a frenzy. Hint, hint. The return could be near. We'll get into that in just a bit. Dan Campbell, Lions head coach, has talked about a little bit here in the early going, his opening thoughts before this Ravens-Lions matchup in Baltimore. Odafe Oweh, Sarah, claims that a Browns defender, he did not name the specific defensive player for Cleveland, but he claimed that purposely that defender went after Lamar's ankle. We'll talk about what that might mean. Lamar himself challenged Ray Lewis, and apparently this was a great Ravens Wired episode that I missed last night, but luckily my partner has tallied up some snippets. So we'll get into that. We'll get into quick hits, a number of other things. So glad you're here. Like the video on your way in. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit that notification bell. Consider becoming a channel member or gift-giving membership. And I know we've got a bunch of meatloafs to get to. There's already 9 freaking super chats in there, including gifts. So I see that. But one call out, if you will, before we get to the football content, Sarah, 1,248 of you are active channel memberships. I should say channel members inside this channel. And it's incredible. What a display of support. And then on top of that, 25,992 of you choose to subscribe to this channel. We are 8 out from 26,000. So needless to say, if you could subscribe today, if you don't already, we'd really appreciate it. Partner, shall we talk about number 80? Because his return could be imminent at this point.
Which, we've already felt like he's been ramping up. We've been seeing him getting closer and closer. You try to play this clip for me over the phone. You kind of put your receiver to it. So I've sort of heard it, but feel like I need to hear it more. Let's hear Isaiah Likely's proclamation.
Courtesy of WJZ, local CBS affiliate in town, of course. And the Purple Playbook. Looks like it's going to be a Wednesday night type of weekly show at Jimmy's Seafood. Zay Flowers has done this in the past. Not sure if those two are going to split time this year. But right now, to kick things off, week 3, Sarah, it's Isaiah Likely on the Purple Playbook last night. Here he is.
One of our players, Sanus, caught a ball, landed on my ankle a little wrong. Sanus trying to make a great play on the ball, ended up stepping my foot always by accident. Grabbed my foot, felt like I couldn't put pressure on it. Went inside, got MRI, seen that I had to crack my 5th metatarsal. Got surgery, got the timestamp. Been a little too patient. Obviously talking to Coach Harves, trying to get back, but obviously knowing the end game is to make sure I'm good, down the road. So, taking it week by week. And right now just, itching to get back out there. Man, I mean, I feel like people don't really understand the joy people really get from playing football until it's taken away from you. And that's that's been really probably the hardest part, playing this game since I've been 4 years old. It's really just been, not really, I mean, there's always when you run into it, the soreness or being tired or being a little hurt. But when you're injured and physically not able to do something, that's when it's hurting. Because you see your teammates out there, you see the fun, the brotherhood that you formed, and you're not out there to be able to have fun. So.
And, I've seen you out there working, trying to get back into game shape. So I got to ask you, because everyone wants to know, do you have an idea of when we could see you back out there?
Very soon.
Okay.
That's a good enough answer.
My boy's a vet now. That's a certified. He's a vet now. You're not getting my guy. He's not a rookie.
We were going to get a little bit, but
I had a different answer last season. You're like, I've been on the show 2 seasons now. Come on, guys.
That's funny.
And just for the audio-only audience, you probably recognize that voice towards the end. That is Torrey Smith. So left to right, it's Torrey Smith. It's Rick Ritter from WJZ. It's Isaiah Likely. And then it's Alex Glaze. That's left to right. And again, courtesy of the Purple Playbook, Sarah. You heard him there at the end. Very soon, almost hyped it up a little bit. Looked down and almost this devilish, yeah, it's coming. Look at the crowd. You saw it and you heard it there, most importantly, for the first time, the frenzy. I think the bank's going to be rocking if indeed he is active coming up on Monday night, Sarah, because we know Mina Kimes is going to get into it in just a bit, how much of a vertical element he will bring to this passing attack, and ultimately yet another weapon at Lamar's disposal against an opponent that can hang with him in terms of points per game, you would think, based on what they've put on tape recently.
Well, and 12 personnel is going to be back. The Ravens have been obviously without Patrick Ricard, and I feel like some of the tight ends have had to help make up for that loss. Still don't know what he's going to be back. And also the wide receivers, we just talked about it yesterday, Zay Flowers, and is off the charts. Like literally off the charts. And so we've seen Devontae Walker, we've seen DeAndre Hopkins, but really to get this 12 personnel going, to really get some more of the play action passing going, we need these guys back. And as you mentioned, Mina Kimes, when she was doing her preview podcast episode talking about all the different teams, spoiler alert, she's taking the Ravens over the Lions. But she talked about, in her words, why Isaiah Likely's return is sneaky big.
The thing I'm interested in, I'll focus on this from the Ravens standpoint, is the return of Isaiah Likely. I think he is going to play in this one. It looks like he's been practicing for a minute. He was, I think, questionable last week. But anyways, because I think that the Ravens offense, without their standard 12 personnel passing attack, has been somewhat limited. I know that didn't look like it week 1, but I think getting back Likely is sneaky big. And I think it's sneaky big against this Lions defense that through the first 2 weeks of the season, obviously it's just 2 games, has matched 2 tight ends 100% of the time with base defense. So the Ravens need to have the ability to throw play action pass. And I mean, when I think about the Ravens offense at its best, and I think about when it's operating on all cylinders last year and dominating opponents, to me, it's Likely and Andrews, teams putting the wrong players on the field and then being able to take advantage of that. Likely, in particular, on those, he brings more of that vertical element. So I think he could be sneaky big in this one coming back. I think maybe his absence has been a little bit underplayed.
It's crazy that his absence is underplayed. Well, why wouldn't it be? Because you're putting up 40 burgers 2 weeks in a row. And obviously one of those touchdowns last week was from the defense, but you go up against one of the best teams in the AFC in the Buffalo Bills, and you put up 40 points. and then you do it against a great Browns defense who is better than the rest of its team. And so to think that, you're putting up 40 points per game and then you're going to get a sneaky big addition back, because to her point, like, that's been the Ravens' bread and butter for so many years, the 12 personnel, and they haven't really been able to use it. And so getting him back out there will open things up even more for an already potent offense.
Yeah, no Ricard, no Likely. You think about what these guys get back, and once hopefully they're both back at some point soon. But just because we're beginning today's conversation about Isaiah and his comments that were made, last night, this is going to have a ripple effect, Sarah. This is going to help pass pro. This is going to help Lamar's comfortability, right? He's going to have another security blanket out there. You know who this is going to help too? Mark Andrews, after a slow statistical start. The threat of Isaiah being back out there and those two being back on the field together, like you said, revisiting that 12 personnel that they've had so much success in, and Lamar finds so much comfort in. This is going to have a ripple effect. And then once Ricard gets back as well, they're going to be rolling, and those jumbo sets are going to be flying through, and there's going to be lanes and all kinds of different holes that they can attack, whether it's through the air or on the ground. And obviously they've had their fair share of success through the air, not so much on the ground in week 2. Week 1, they had success both through 3 quarters, 3.5 quarters.
3.75 if we really want to get into it.
There you go. You should. We should get into that way. But, this is going to be a game where I don't think they're going to have any issues whatsoever hanging another 30+. I think it starts from the jump. Isaiah being back, even if he is, Sarah, on a pitch count, will come with, I would think, a level of energy. It's not energization, but like it's going to energize this group, him being back. And I assume
level of energy.
I assume he'd be on a pitch count. I mean, it's only been a little over a month since his procedure and whatnot. So, and as he said there at the beginning, right, it was just a one-on-one rep with Sanusi Kane, second-year safety, totally on accident, stepped on him. And there you have it. It's a little bit of a setback for Isaiah, but you can tell that much like Jair Alexander, Sarah's been in John Harbaugh's ear. I get the sense that 80's been that way as well. He's ready to get back out there.
Well, it's interesting because you talk about Mark Andrews, who is off to, I'd say, receiving-wise, a slow start, right? He's had 4 targets, 2 catches, 7 yards. That's 0.2 yards per, what is it? Let me make sure I got this right. Yeah, 0.2 yards per route run, according to Pro Football Focus. So not going on a lot there. And he was asked by reporters, including Cordell Woodland, how does he feel about the slow start? Well, he told Cordell that he doesn't feel like he is off to a slow start. He told him that he mentioned how impactful he's been as a blocker and how he helped spring Henry open on some of his big runs versus Buffalo. He also said he believes he's still an elite tight end and that his time will come. And I think that's true. When I watch Mark Andrews, he looks like he's still fast. He looks like he's still effective. He is. So what he's basically saying is like, look, I'm doing my job. And right now, we don't have Patrick Ricard, and our offensive line, especially in the run game, is struggling. And so he's sacrificing. Look, and he made this speech in the offseason. He said, we're going to have to be an unselfish team. And he's walking that walk here because he's saying, no, I'm not off to a slow start because I'm doing the job that I'm given in these circumstances. And so will Isaiah will it have an effect on him, as you say? Yeah, probably, because they can be in more in those 2 tight end sets. That being said, I think the bigger ripple effect will be when Patrick Ricard returns. That will open them up much more to get back to it. So, but I do think, I agree. It seems as if Isaiah will be back on Monday, but I also think it's like, hey, let him have a ramp up period, right? Like we saw Jair Alexander wasn't quite ready. Hopefully Isaiah is not in that category. I don't anticipate that. But that being said, you still got to give him a little bit of a ramp up period. And if he happens to come out and just starts balling, then great. But I'm going to exercise a little bit of patience to maybe kind of ramp him up and put him on that snap count, as you mentioned.
I just want to underscore once more, like you did with Cordell here, the selflessness that you've seen from Mark so far. Not one antic, not one thing through the media, nothing. This is what he's done his entire career since he was drafted. He's an all-time Raven. He got off to a really slow statistical start in 24, ended up with a career best in passing in touchdown catches. We'll see what happens this year. They've got talent littered all throughout. Somebody's going to get the short end of the stick, Sarah. I don't know who it's going to be, but it's going to be somebody at some point. This to me is just such an indication of what they have in their locker room culture-wise, who Mark is as a dude. And ultimately, this is a player that hopefully he can get going. Hopefully he can get going at some point. And I had a final thought on that, which was this. He's not lying. It's fresh in my mind. I just watched every single drop back for our third topic of Lamar Jackson on all 22, which we'll get to in just a bit. And an accusation from Odafe Oweh about what he saw on film related to the Cleveland game. Every single drop back, Sarah. And I could count on probably two hands how much I saw Mark popping indirectly involved in the play. And so he is out there getting after it. He is out there blocking. And hopefully for his sake, for the Ravens' sake, he'll get more directly involved, cash in for a lot of that, right, in the coming weeks. Isaiah's presence hopefully will help. To your point, Pat's is going to be the ultimate presence that helps everybody. Literally everybody on this offense will be better when 42 is back out there. And so I just thought that it was a good reminder since I literally just watched every single one of his dropbacks that Mark isn't lying with these sentiments, and Cordell shared them on X yesterday. Want to get to a couple clips from Dan Campbell, or did you have any thoughts on that?
I was going to set you up with Dan Campbell. Go for it.
Yeah, he does a local radio show in the Detroit area, 97.1 to be exact. I think that's The Ticket is what their name is. And so Dan Campbell, a couple different things. One, he took a look back at 2023, that 38-6 decision, more like a beatdown in Baltimore. That'll be the second clip. But the first, Sarah, is just getting ready for this potent offense that we've been talking about the first 20 minutes of this episode.
There's no easy task here. Those two players, and look, and let's not forget, they got skill now on the perimeter. They got some receivers. They got a tight end. This old line will come off the ball. But it does start with Lamar and that runner, man. And he's a load. What they do a lot of shifts. They do motions. There's a lot of, read run out of it, or the illusion. There's play pass. There's boots. So this is, look, our defense has got their hands full. And I think more than anything, the two things, what you see a lot of is even the teams that play them pretty well, man, they do well, 3 yard, 3 yard, 3 yard. All of a sudden there goes a 60-yarder. And so this team, if you don't stay disciplined for 60 minutes, you make one false move at some point in the game, it'll cost you, because when Henry gets going downhill and there's an open gap and you don't stop him before he hits the line of scrimmage or make him move his feet, he's dangerous. So, man, we got to be disciplined, and we have to have population of the football. We're going to have all 11 scream into the football no matter where it is. I mean, that's what you have to do to contain this offense, and we got to find a way to get a takeaway.
I love his vocabulary. We got to have all 11 screaming to the football. We have to, what was the other one? Populate something. So Dan Campbell knows it's going to be a stiff challenge. This is a team that's coming off a really disappointing week 1 performance against Green Bay. But then they bounce back, Sarah, as we discussed already this week, with a 52 spot over Chicago. So they're coming in feeling good about themselves. But this second clip, unless you have something to add to before we cut to it, revisits the 2023 performance that Detroit put out on tape when they came to Baltimore, Sarah, and lost 38-6. I'll get into some of the specifics as we walk down memory lane. But first, what's different about your team now than it was back then, Coach Campbell?
Look, we're better on the perimeter. That's one. But I think also, having faced that, it's one thing to say or see it on tape, but when you actually face it, which we have a significant amount of guys that are still here that actually lived through that, then you really know the task at hand. You know the environment. You know what they're made of. They're well coached. I got a lot of respect for Coach Harbaugh. And they're just every year, man. They're a tough team. They're competitive. They're rugged, and they're disciplined. So this will be a good challenge, and I'm looking forward to it. Our guys are going to be looking forward to it.
Audio is courtesy of 97.1, The Ticket in Detroit. Sarah, that day, 38-6 was the final, late October 2023. If you had to take a guess, knowing that the Ravens outgained the Lions that day, 503 to 337 yards of overall yardage, okay? If you had to take a guess in terms of their yards per play, what would you say it was that day?
You said 503 yards they had?
This number is inhumane, okay?
This isn't rushing, this isn't passing, this is overall?
This is yards per play, and I'm going to give you one guess, and I'm going to refer to it as inhumane to give you my one hint. Okay.
Okay. Well, I should do what my husband does. Whenever I get a good deal, I'm like, honey, guess how much I paid for this? And he's like, 1 penny. And I'm like, you just ruined it. So I'm going to say, 100 yards per play, just to ruin what you're trying to set up.
9 point. God bless you, Trevor. Trevor and I are getting the same treatment right now. 9.1 yards per play. Okay. This game was never once close, Sarah. It was 28-0 at halftime, and they had an all-out stranglehold on these Detroit Lions into the fourth quarter, and the Lions put up 6 in the fourth, and that was it. This was a great game that was dominated on the ground from start to finish by the Ravens. Gus Edwards actually led the way. They finished with 146. Lamar threw 357 yards, okay, including 3 touchdowns, no picks, of course. One of those clean stat lines, a quarterback rating of 155.8. But it's 2 years removed now. It's 2 years removed.
Yeah.
And now you hear Dan Campbell saying, well, we got better on the perimeter, and it wasn't all that convincing after that. Now, was it?
Well, their defense doesn't strike a lot of fear into many people, including me. I feel like the Ravens are probably going to eat. I could see a Derrick Henry bounce back game. We've already talked about Isaiah Likely. It's Monday night. Lamar usually plays well on Monday night or in prime time, under prime time lights in general. So I feel good about the Ravens offense, and I appreciate the respect that Dan Campbell is giving. I mean, he's doing what coaches do. Just load the respect up. Just load it. It's kind of like Bill Belichick. That being said, a lot of things that he's saying about how important it is going to be disciplined and to scream to the ball carrier and all that, I feel the same way about the Ravens defense, right? Like with Jahmyr Gibbs and Jared Goff and Amon St. Brown. Like, they've got a lot of weapons on their offense, and I don't know that I can say with 1,000% confidence who the Ravens defense is yet. And so, are we going to see a defense that, had a much easier assignment against Joe Flacco and the Browns, a 40-year-old quarterback with no running game to help him out? Or am I going to see a defense that, gives them some stuff up like they did against Josh Allen and the Bills, but then collapses in the fourth quarter? And I think that's the part that scares me the most, knowing how potent their offense is. So I want to see who the real 2025 Ravens defense is. And once I have a better idea, I think I'd feel a lot more confident going in these types of games. But I do believe the Ravens are going to put up a lot of points.
You mentioned Amon-Ra St. Brown, talented pass catcher for Detroit. He was one of the lone bright spots in that game in October of 2023. 13 receptions for 102 yards. He was targeted 19 times by Jared Goff that day. And you want to know how many times Jared Goff threw the football that day? 53. Woo! 53 attempts. Jahmyr Gibbs led the way for them rushing-wise, 11 carries for 68 yards and a touchdown. They tried to go for 2, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. Anyway, there's only so much you can learn from 2 years ago. I get that. I'm not breathing down Detroit's neck because I think it's going to be the exact same outcome. I think the Ravens will win. Hint, hint. We'll do our predictions either Friday or Monday, and we'll have a game preview, of course, for this one on Monday night. But I do think that the Lions are going to be able, and I think this is what you were suggesting, put up points at times and get what they want from this Ravens defense. So more to come on this blockbuster game, week 3. Shall we get to some super chats before we talk about some takeaways from Ravens Wired that you've compiled up?
Yes, sir.
DHB Senior got us started this morning, 9:10 to be exact, almost 3 hours before call time. And he says, good morning, you two. Eric told me I missed the huge donation news yesterday. Yes, you did.
Yes,
I am so glad. I will be in the field again today, but wanted to show my love. He has been working hard this week, Sarah. His presence is missed. DHB Senior, thanks for checking in today. And yeah, yesterday was absurd. And Eric Hill kicks things off where they left off yesterday. I'll gather myself. You read this 50 burger from EH, who, again, if you haven't figured this out yet by the pinned comment and the ticker that we have right now on our bottom line, Eric Hill, thanks to Eric's generosity, we are doing a giveaway today. 2 tickets, section 126, Ravens Lions, coming up on Monday night. Leave a hashtag with the comment Vault. Leave a comment with the hashtag Vault, and that'll enter you into our random giveaway coming up later on in the show.
Yeah, while I read this, maybe you need to go get some tea with some honey in it and all that kind of stuff, because you got a lot of meatloafing to do. So here we go. He says, well, let's get it started right. Good morning and afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is having a blessed and wonderful day. In case no one tells you today that they love you, just know that I do. Hashtag stop the 22. Hashtag suicide awareness month. Hashtag Thursday ticket giveaway.
And hashtag, hey, Ma, the meatloaf. Thank you, EH. And happy Thursday to you. On top of that, Sarah, he's gifted 10 new channel memberships. We began the day at over 1,200, 1,248 to be exact. So the count begins. Thank you, Eric. And on top of that, he writes, at Drew J, I finally got you that Vault membership. On another note, Bobby and Sarah, I maxed out my donations for the week on the other account. Hashtag 6K for LJ. Hashtag the Vault. Hashtag Vaultrons. Hashtag 19-1. Hashtag Drew J. Sarah, he's literally looking out for specific Vaultrons to make them channel members. I don't know how you can get any more support than that.
Wait, you owe another meatloaf. The 10 memberships is worth $50.
You think anybody would have realized that had you not said it? Huh?
I realized it.
Hey, Ma, my throat hurts. The meatloaf, Ma. Thank you, Eric. And Heather McCubbin, Sarah, with a $20 super chat.
Look at Heather having, just feeling the generosity today with an orange banner, $20. And she says it's in honor of PHP and Eric Hill. Inspiring Heather. Heather, you inspire me. Thank you.
On top of that, she's gifted a couple memberships as well, a single one and a single one times 2. So thank you, Heather. We appreciate you for being here on this Thursday as we do Tie 2 Wavy, celebrating 6 months of membership, Sarah.
He says, I don't talk in the chat, but I'm always watching and supporting the flock. Hashtag Vault. We appreciate the thousands of people who are just like Ty.
Honestly, it's easy to forget, but we never do. It's easy to overlook, but we never do. You guys are incredible. And we know that there's people that are multitasking. There's people that are catching us in non-live formatting, all that in the audio space. The audio folks have been with us literally since the summer of 2022. So you guys are all equally as appreciated. Dana Kennedy celebrating 3 months. And Dana writes, Eric Hill have been the Vault real MVP. Shout out Kevin Durant. Shout out Dana Kennedy. Heather with another channel membership on this Thursday. And that brings us to OJ, Sarah.
Likely said, I've seen enough from 89 and 88. Time for me to get paid. Hashtag show me the money. Jerry Maguire voice.
And Trent and Russell checking in on a Thursday. What's going on, TR? Park Heights Prophet with a $19.01 super chat. He writes, just a few days until the world hears a caw unlike no other. Remember, we try to read these the way that Anthony would read them or speak, as we've heard from him, now twice? The tailgate will be fire or lightning. The game will be amazing. The win will be special. We need Papa Loop in Lot G for Monday Night Football. Hashtag 19-1. Hashtag no picks. Hashtag 40 every week. Mr. Loop, a.k.a. Tyler's father, Steve, if you're here, looks like you've officially been invited to Lot G by Park Heights Profit.
Boom.
Sarah, Eric Hill is back, and he's got another super chat.
Eric Hill says, Dana Kennedy, the real MVPs are at Dana Kennedy, the real MVPs are PHP, DHB Senior, and Tila, to be honest, the whole VAULTRON family.
There's a slew of them. Macta is here, and she writes, I'm going to the game Monday night. So excited. Nice. I'll see you there, Macta. Greg Johnson says, finally made a live chat. Bobby, I hope I get to meet you Monday night, buddy. Go Ravens. #Vault. Hey, Greg, you know where I'm going to be. Be More Around Town pregame show, baby. 5 o'clock, 801 West Austin Street on the Fed side of M&T Bank Stadium. I look forward to getting back to Baltimore coming up this weekend. Rossi Clark, Sarah, is in the house, and it's a super chat.
Likely and Ricard coming back will boost our offense, and Munkin will look like a good play caller again. I feel like he was good last week, to be honest with you, especially with the adjustments he made with the run game being shut down. Mark is just a glorified blocker right now. #Vault.
Yeah, maybe first half criticism for Todd that'd be warranted, but he did adjust, and they adjusted in a big way. They went and started attacking with Denzel Ward down, their CB1 in Cleveland. They started attacking Mitchell, I believe was his name, and they started doing so vertically, challenging them vertically. Zay was eating, DeAndre was eating right out of the half, and it was a boat race from there. What's up, Wes Hall? Representing from Houston. Call me crazy, but I'm about to go for a jog in this Texas heat. If it's anything like South Florida right now, God bless you, and stay hydrated, please. Maybe this crazy will pay 126 dividends at the end. #Vault. Now, I don't get that. Maybe this crazy, it's 126 degrees in Texas? Is that what he's saying? Oh, man. Well, careful out there, Wes. That's insane. But I love a good sweat, man. Sarah, today's thermostat at my new gym, I'm loving it, by the way. The 6 a.m.s, I'm back in that structure. 82 degrees on the thermostat in there. That's a little bit hot, all right?
To work out in, yes, but 82 is actually brings me joy. I could just sit in 82 all day long.
To bop around and sunbathe and all that, for sure. Bro Flacco, Sarah, celebrating 4 months of channel membership and a one handlebar Joe Flacco back in the day.
Bro Flacco wants to know, does anyone know what sections surround the tunnel that the Ravens run out of M&T? 117 to 119, maybe? He says, or is it 134 to 136? Looking to get blackout tickets. #Vault. I feel like, don't they let you see what your view is when you're on there, or no? When you go on to get tickets?
Yes, the site that I used was SeatGeek. I don't know off the top of my head, to be quite honest with you. My buddy Jason, though, Bro Flacco, and Jason is a new subscriber of ours. Jason, if you're live chatting right now or if you're watching us, can you let Bro Flacco know this? Because he texted me about this, and I just forget. So I'm sure the live chat can help out as well, Bro Flacco.
He said he got the answer from the chat.
Perfect.
He's good.
Thanks. The chat's always taking care of us. Big O writes, Monday night is going to be a movie. #Keaton, #Vault. He told us that, Sarah, back in April. Hopefully he's active. We'll see what happens on Rasheen Ali, and that's what Bro is wondering. Bro Flacco writes, any updates on Ali? Maybe we finally see Keaton. We're going to get a lot of updates over the course of this afternoon, Sarah. Yep. This is technically a Wednesday on a normal week, if you will. So they are 1 day behind, knowing that Monday night is when they play. So stay tuned for tomorrow. Stay tuned for 4 p.m. Eastern when the injury reports drop. And at some point in the next hour, maybe before we finish up, some tweets from beat reporters will start leaking in terms of attendance and whatnot. Sarah, here's Sarumbo checking in.
Says, been a fan since the Lamar contract days. Don't often get to catch the lives, but I always watch. Definitely my fave Ravens page. 42-24 Ravens. He's calling it. #Vault.
Heck yeah. Appreciate you, Sarumbo. I love when new users chime in, or just people that are new to the live format. Oh man. You know what, CR, you're going to have to correct me on this because I know you did. It's been a long time since I read your name. Sarah, do you remember? I think it's Sitali, but I think she also corrected me on that within the last year. Anyway, CR, let me know. Remind me, please. She wants to know, why aren't we using Keaton Mitchell? Thoughts? We've discussed this a lot since he was inactive, Sarah, to begin the year. A lot of this had to do with how they evaluated Rasheen Ali from a special teams perspective and knowing what Todd Monken said pre-training camp about the touches and how difficult it was going to be to specifically get Keaton his touches, knowing what the backfield looked like. We'll see if that door opens, Sarah, with Rasheen Ali's status being in jeopardy coming up this week. Don J, Sarah.
Let's go flock. Hashtag Vault.
And take another one from Danny G.
Bobby's going to need cough drops next week. Hashtag Vault.
I'm going to be careful at the game, all right? I'm going to be at the game for 3 quarters, and then I'm going to bounce to get back to my destination, Sarah, so we can do our post-game show on time. I'm going to be careful at the game, but if he's referring to the meatloafs, he's correct. Bosef Bostar has become our newest channel member. Bosef, welcome to the channel. C. Brittle says, darkness here, Raven Flock, hashtag Vault. Keon to Don, Sarah.
All I know is Ray better be there on Mondays so the boys can go hunting. Hashtag Vault.
And take another one from Queon.
I feel an 89 game looming. Hashtag Vault.
Okay. Oddish. Ravens win 50-something to 17. Is that what you're saying? And Jackson 5. Hashtag Vault. Gabe Caesar says, I need Lamar to play Frozone in live action Incredibles. Monday night, he may not even need his super suit. Kevin Jacobs.
LFG. Thank you, Bobby and Sarah. Love the show. Hashtag Vault. We love you, Kevin.
Yeah, no, thank you, Kevin. And thanks to all of you for spending some time with us. Over 1,800 concurrents on this Thursday. If you could like the video on your way in, if you're in the YouTube space, subscribe to the channel. We're coming up on 26,000 total subscribers. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified when we go live on a daily basis year-round. You can consider becoming a channel member, gift-giving membership, or getting yourself a piece of merch. It's our new apparel line by visiting thevaultpod.com/shop. All that can be found in the show notes below. Partner, bring us into Ravens Wired, if you will.
Yeah, so there's a lot of fun clips because so many former Ravens were in town last week, obviously for the 30th season celebration. What's interesting was a fun clip between Lamar Jackson and Ray Lewis at practice. But before I show that clip, I feel like I need to remind some people of some background because I'm reading this clip through this background. You guys remember about a month ago, it's like mid-August, a Twitter account of Chris Cooper talked about, or he relayed the fact that Hall of Famer, former Ravens legend, safety Rod Woodson said on air that Lamar couldn't beat the 2000 defense. And listen, a lot of times when people just throw out 2000 defense, everybody's like, yeah, that would be tough. Not Lamar Jackson. He's not trying to hear that. Yes, it's the greatest defense in the world, but Lamar sees himself as one of the best quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. And why wouldn't he? He's got all the accolades and stats to prove it. Obviously, needs to get that Super Bowl. When he does, more people have to put respect on his name. And so Lamar pushed back on Rod Woodson. Remember, he says, brah, it's 2 different eras. But it sounds good, though. And then a fan came in and said, well, what he meant was you couldn't run the ball on them. Lamar wasn't having that. He says, brah, I played for the Ravens. I'm not even against them. So let's put him on the Raiders team, because remember, he also played for the Raiders. I see a lot of running lanes with them, and I love me versus him open field. He goes on to say, and all y'all doing is making this a 1 versus 11 thing. Ask him, what would he have done in the open field with me and him? I know for 1,000,000% he wasn't gone. He wasn't going to win that battle. And then people are reminding him of the rules of that back then versus now. Lamar, his final reply is, I hear all that about the rules, but do you think I'll sit there and let these people do what they did to the other quarterbacks back then? And then he's got a Roadrunner gif that says, meep, meep. Okay. So Lamar wasn't backing down from Rod Woodson. So with that context, I noticed on Ravens Wired, Lamar's talking about, hey, Ray, I'm a hunter too. And Ray's talking about how he has hunters on the defensive end. It seems to me, Bobby, that at practice, they're having a friendly discussion about what Lamar may have been able to do to those Ravens defenses. Here we go.
Look, that's why you great. And that's why they say I'm great.
Well, let me go back a little bit
Hey,
further.
see, look, that's why you great. And that's why they say I'm great. But them hunters gonna miss. You can get out of that. I'm gonna get out of that, man. I'm gonna get up out of there, man.
I had some hunters though.
Yeah, I used to watch.
I had hunters.
I used to watch.
I had scissor coming off that edge.
You're a hunter, I'm a hunter.
Right.
I'm a hunter with the ball.
Oh man, this would have been good.
Yeah, it would have been great.
I'm gonna give myself 1 week. I'll be right back.
want so badly to be in his 20s again with Lamar, to be on the same team, or just to kind of settle this discussion. And Lamar is challenging Ray, just like he challenged Rod Woodson. Now he's challenging the great Ray Lewis and says, well, listen here. I'm a hunter too. I'm a hunter too with the ball. Ray's talking about all the guys that he had. Lamar's not backing down. And Bobby, let's be real. Didn't Lamar just play against probably a future Hall of Famer in Myles Garrett? Hasn't he played against a future Hall of Famer in TJ Watt? And he's got still photos of him pushing off TJ Watt and making plays. And don't get me wrong, Myles Garrett got his too over the last week. He just a couple times got through Ronnie Stanley, got a sack or two. But in the end, it's Lamar who comes out victorious. In the end, Lamar's played a lot of great defenses. Lamar's played, listen, not the greatest of all time. I get it. It's the Ravens 2000. I get that. This debate will never be settled, but I love Lamar's attitude that it's like, no, like you guys were great, but I'm great too. You guys were hunters, but I'm a hunter too. So let's not pretend that I couldn't get mine over you guys. And other quarterbacks did. It's not like nobody never did anything ever. I mean, once they got the playoffs, almost nobody did. But I love the attitude from Lamar, not backing down and challenging one of his quote unquote forefathers in the great Ray Lewis.
I think he probably would have wanted to suit up with the 2019 offensive line had this been able to essentially been tested, right? To your point, we'll never figure out the answer to this. This debate will never be ultimately realized. But I think he'd probably want to bring the 2019 unit instead of this year's. I don't think that's saying anything groundbreaking.
Yeah, I think that Marshall Yonda at right guard is just a tad bit better than Daniel Fa'alele, maybe.
You got a younger Ronnie who went on to have an all-pro campaign there in 2019. Of course, they went 14-2. I believe you had Bradley Bozeman on that line. Oh, gosh, who was their right tackle that year? I'm sure the chat's going to help us out, too. Was Orlando Brown Jr. on that team?
Yes, he was. He was.
You had Ronnie. You had Baby. Wow. You had Ronnie. You had Baby Zeus. You had Bozeman. You had Marshall. And you had – is that 5?
Who's the center back then?
Did I just rip off 5? Oh, was it Skura?
I would take Linderbaum over Skura. Can we mission match these?
Well, definitely. Yeah, you definitely want Linderbaum suiting up right there. But I think you get my point. You're gonna want you're gonna want that 2019 Joe Deeve unit, I think, rather than George Warhop's 2025. And hey, hopefully they prove me wrong, Sarah, at some point. And prove us both wrong at that, in the next several months. They got some cleaning up to do. And 2 weeks, as what Mark Sanchez said after week 1, he said week 1's a dirty little liar. Well, we've seen enough on tape to know that not a lot of this is lies, some of the tape. Jason Smith, I thought, did a good job yesterday breaking down some of Andrew Voorhees' struggles in the hand placement. We've seen some of the reps, even though not a ton of them came in week 2 against Cleveland. We've seen Daniel Fa'alele really have some gaffes out there. We've seen Ronnie Stanley have some work handed to him by Myles Garrett. And as Cole Jackson talked about on the collective Tuesday night, Sarah, you got a lot of stud defenses that are going to be coming to Baltimore over the next several weeks, including going to Arrowhead and dealing with Chris Jones and that front, defensively speaking, that Spagnuolo is going to have firing away. So anyway, I wish we could get down to the debate, to the core of it, but unfortunately we can't.
You do have a good memory, though. You got it all. I have it in front of me. Ronnie Stanley, Bradley Bozeman, Matt Skura, Marshall Yonda, Orlando Brown Jr.
Let's be clear. One of the best offensive lines. I think you could definitely say that's probably the best Lamar Jackson-led offensive lines.
Yeah.
And
then to go back, I mean, you've got Jonathan Ogden in the years before, and who knows how many different combinations they had with Jonathan Ogden, but that was always nice to have. So many of those years, you had Jonathan Ogden with so many different quarterbacks, and it's like, man, what you wouldn't give there? What you wouldn't give to have like Jonathan Ogden, then could you get Ronnie to go over to the right side? Ooh,
well, yeah, and not to mention, Sarah, what they did historically that year on the ground with Greg Roman's scheme kind of taking the entire NFL by storm with Lamar. He had the single season most rushing yards, right, with over 1,200 that year. As a team, They boat raced the entire NFL, breaking records as a team in terms of rushing records. Lamar had how many touchdowns that year? I mean, it was an insane year historically speaking, and that will probably be chronicled as one of the top offensive lines in Ravens history, definitely in Lamar Jackson's era to date.
Yeah, for sure. Well, here's the thing, though, Bobby. Even though they were challenging each other, like the whole theme more of Ravens Wired, which was really cool, was this idea of these former Ravens becoming like these mentors for the current Ravens. And we haven't really been able to live in that world too much because Ravens is such a young organization. Like you've seen it here and there, but to the point that we are now where there's so many different greats at so many different positions that they could come in and mentor them. So there's like the Ravens Productions put together a little collage of all these guys coming back and taking current Ravens under their wings. And you just get this feeling that it's like they're rallying around them. I feel like these former Ravens have the same feeling that we have, which is that this team is so close and they've been close so many times. So anything they can do to help these guys get over the edge and maybe help them develop, a week faster, 2 weeks faster, a year faster, whatever it can be. But just look at all these different Ravens coming back and talking to the guys today.
You never know who may show up from the past to kind of connect you with the present.
What's up, Jerry? Oh my God, what's up, brother? Good to meet you. Covered it.
Great teams never point the finger. Great teams are the teams that galvanize together during tough times because you're always going to have highs and lows in football. It's just part of the deal.
We welcome all the old players back. The tradition, the standard that they set of excellence, I think is something that our guys respect and they strive for. And they even want to, raise the bar.
You played in a lot of different stances.
Yes.
So I was wondering, like, was it just a feel thing? Or like, 'cause sometimes you were like this, sometimes you were here, sometimes you were in a 3. So was that just a feel thing? Like,
most guys will step with their front foot. If you just step like this, you're overextending and you're basically just bracing. So base block me as a tight end. I'm just holding on.
Yeah.
Okay, a stalemate is a win for them. Like everything has to be back.
From a mentality standpoint, what are you studying? What do you see? And what are you willing to pay attention to?
Man, you treating the league like high school, bro. Bro, it's L, bro, play your game. He said, play however you play, bro. We gonna make up for everything. We gonna play hard. He said, everybody just play y'all game.
never try to block me with a receiver.
Never try to block me with a receiver.
Never.
I just want to see that from the back.
They want to come back and help give back to the guys, which is really the biggest thing. I mean, you've got Jarrett Johnson working the film study with the linebackers and Ray talking to the team. So, that's pay it back, pay it forward type thing.
100% anticipating pass right now, right? Yeah. So all I would do is instead of the heel, I'm going to go to about a yard and a half behind him, and I'm racing him to that spot. Right. But still a power angle, right?
Yep.
Because what does everything have to do? Be on a path to the quarterback.
Yep.
TJ Watt, efficient rusher. Terrell Suggs, efficient rusher. Everything's to the quarterback. The main thing with your length is getting a light inside shoulder. You're just going to push him right back and be right in the quarterback's lap.
Look at how attentive Tavius Robinson is. What a joy he is to listen to, Sarah. You could just tell he is all in on learning from Jarrett Johnson. But this does speak to the John Harbaugh culture, right? The guys want to come back. Former players want to come back. They want to get involved. You saw Dennis Pitta. You saw Ray. You saw Torrey. You could go on and on and on. Jarrett, of guys that want to come back. And to your point, I think you're onto something there in terms of understanding that they've taken some lumps in the postseason in recent years, and the expectations aren't getting any less bright or any less at all, just in general. And maybe there is just this concerted effort being made by, the Ravens community or the alum base, if you will, to get back in there and shed any kind of advice that they possibly can to get them over the hump. Maybe that's a part of it. Maybe it's not.
Yeah, and for some of the audio-only people, I just wanted to list some of the guys. I mean, you probably heard Ray's voice. You heard Jarrett Johnson's voice. Really good stuff for Tavius Robinson. Pitta was in there. Torrey Smith was in there. Marshall Yonda, I don't know if you noticed that. Ray Rice was in there. Just so many different guys being in there. And so that was really, and I wanted to say this about Pitta. I didn't grab the clip, but Pitta was razzed pregame. Remember how we saw the Joe Flacco Elite t-shirt he had on pregame? He was accused, and I kind of agree, for double dipping. That he's like supporting Joe. He's like, but bro, we're the Ravens. The Joe plays for the Browns now. You can't wear that shirt. He's like, well, it's a Ravens Joe Flacco. It's still Joe Flacco. And he was on the other team. So I'm glad they gave Pitta a hard time for that.
Oh.
You know, I love Pitta, my BYU guy. You can't have it both ways.
We're not going. We're not going.
He can't have it both ways.
You know where we're going. We're not going there.
You can't have it both ways either, Bobby.
We're not doing it.
You can't have it both ways.
Everybody's heard this debate between you and me a million times. We're not even going there.
Good, let's not, because them razzing Pitta was the right way to go. And anybody that wants to razz you for it is the right way to go.
I'm not even going there. What else you got from Wired?
The last one from Wired is, I had noticed this. We picked up on the fact that that Tylan Wallace. No, that was a different play. Okay. Devontae Walker set up his own touchdown catch. By the way, he played a very similar play call from Todd Monken earlier. So check this out, because Zay Flowers noticed it and called it out on the sideline.
Rolling. Jackson looking to the back of the end zone. Caught! Touchdown, Walker! Second-year pro out of North Carolina.
Let's go, boy. Good stuff. Right there. 2 catches, 2 tutties. You feel me?
So second down as they move it to the 25. Jackson looking to throw, looking toward the end zone. It's caught! Touchdown, Walker! All he does is score touchdowns. 3 career receptions, 3 career touchdowns.
Yeah, Ted! Yo, bro. There you go.
3 catches, 3 touchdowns. You crazy. You crazy.
This might be the function of me asking you to get a clip, and the wrong one was grabbed. I maybe didn't explain it well enough to you. It was the Tylan Wallace catch that he set up himself. That's what I thought, but then I was like, oh, maybe I remembered the wrong person. I saw the clip with the
well, don't worry.
Of Devontae's, but you got it.
Second, we're gonna have that in just a second. But
we got to relive Devontae Walker's 2 touchdowns too.
Well, I wanted to give Tez a little bit of love. You know, we were hard on him last year. This time last year, he was inactive for the most part, first half of the season, and yet you're just seeing a player that's there that's developing, that's getting a chance. It's a very small sample size. I expect that to continue. I don't think he's just going to emerge all of a sudden to be this, this high volume guy for them, given what they already have in the room. But again, I just think it's a sign of things to come, and I'll stand by 26-27. Devontae Walker could be a real problem for this team and a true 2-3 for them, assuming that Zay will continue to be here and at some point be extended. We know Bateman's extension runs him in Baltimore contractually through the next several years. So it's a great problem to have, the fact that he's coming on like this early through 2 weeks. And here is the actual clip that I was supposed to grab, and that is Tylan Wallace, a function of multitasking for Bobby Trossett. Here's Tylan Wallace.
Come on, bro. Come on, man. Yo.
Hey, you set that up for yourself.
Oh, you
when you hit his ass the first time.
Yeah.
You set that up for yourself.
You already know, yeah.
You got scared.
Yeah.
They all stopped. Yeah. You set that up.
When Wallace went in motion like that, Mitchell got a little bit discombobulated.
Cameron Mitchell, the corner, was biting up on the play fake, and Tylan Wallace just blew by him.
That boy folded up in there. He was like, oh, you blocked
that thing yesterday.
Yeah.
You didn't see it? Bro, you hit that boy. Linebacker. Linebacker.
Hey, I did a whole flip and everything.
I said, oh. And when he said, I said, touchdown top. Them boys start running up.
Okay, there it is. There it is. So Tylan Wallace, for those that couldn't see it, on a earlier in the drive, hit a linebacker hard on a very similar play. So like the linebacker wasn't about to have that again, and then that, the way he moved the second time around just freed up Tylan Wallace in the end zone to make it an easy throw and catch for a nice 6 points. So Tylan Wallace doing all the work on that drive in those first couple of drives, because he did get that fumble recovery. He had that play where he knocked out the linebacker, making him scared coming back around and then scoring the touchdown.
You also saw Greg Lewis in that huddle right there as well after the play. He's been the wide receivers coach in Baltimore since 2023, I believe. I believe he succeeded Keith Williams, who left for New Orleans at the time, I want to say. So that's a guy that's rarely talked about, Sarah, that's coordinating sort of this wide receiver room, one that's become, a threat and a legitimate presence in this league. And I think it's only a matter of time until the guys that we haven't talked about a lot in these last couple of clips, because it was the unsung guys cashing in like Devontae and Tylan. I think it's only a matter of time, even though despite Bateman's slow start to the year, that Rashad and Zay are ultimately looked at as a top 10 wide receiver duo. Bateman wants to get going. Obviously, Andrews wants to get going. They've both had slow statistical starts, but I think it just speaks to this embarrassment of riches that they have when it comes to the playmaking at Lamar's disposal. Shall we get to some super chats?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. They've been pouring in on this Thursday. Thank you guys for being with us today. If you haven't already, there's 2,200 concurrents at the moment. If you could like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, consider becoming a channel member or gift-giving membership. And most importantly, Sarah, thanks to Eric Hill, we are probably about, less than 30 minutes away from doing a giveaway. 2 tickets, section 126 of the bank, Monday night, Ravens-Lions. Leave a hashtag Vault comment. That's a comment with the hashtag Vault, and that'll enter you into our random giveaway coming up in a few short minutes from now. Davon, what's going on, Davon? He says, I hope Likely plays, hashtag Vault. So he's officially entered in, as is Holly Keefe Sarah. She's celebrating 4 months of channel membership.
Appreciate you both, Bobby and Sarah. Can't wait to watch the Ravens run the Lions out of the bank. Hashtag Vault.
Thanks, Holly. Eric Hill says, does anybody know some good spots to eat and a place to get some homemade peach cobbler? Shellford. He's letting everybody know of a shellfish allergy. I will be there Sunday afternoon, evening time frame. Hashtag eat, meet, and greet. Hashtag road trip. Eric, are you going to the game? I can't remember. You're giving away these tickets, as we know, and we're going to do this shortly. But are you going to be at the game, or are you just hanging around on Sunday? Let us know. And if you guys could let Eric know if you have any suggestions. I'll just say this. If you're talking about the Baltimore area, which it sure seems like he is, Sarah, I am partial to Thames Street Oyster House. My brother used to work there. I think that place is fantastic, right in Fells Point. I also really like Marta in Upper Fells. It's like right on the Canton upper border, or Upper Fells / Canton border. Those are probably 2 of my favorite spots. And then what else do I like? Anyway, those are 2 right now off the top of my head. I really like La Cuchara, but that's not in downtown Baltimore. Joe Jenkins with a 50 burger. Allow me to gather myself. You take this one from Double J, and I'll be in a second.
Joe says, if you can't beat them, join them. Go Ravens, O's, Professional Bowlers Tour, PHP, Eric Hill, DHP Senior, Bobby and Sarah, and Flock Nations, Voltrons. Love you all. And rip Charlie Kirk with, 7 or 8 heart emojis. Appreciate you, Joe. Sorry, Bobby. Go do your thing.
Bottom below. Appreciate you, Joe. $50 burger. It's a $50 super chat from Joe. And that magenta background to go along with it. Sean Carter has become our newest channel member here inside the vault. Joe making sure that just in case he missed something, he enters himself into today's giveaway. Eileen says we need Ray and PHP in the tunnel. Hashtag Vault. Deshaun Davis, Sarah, entering himself in with a comment as well.
Also hashtag Vault. Don't have much to say today. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope you're doing well also, Deshaun.
Likewise. Toofy says, representing from Detroit, Michigan, flying into Baltimore early Monday, refused to watch with my Lions family and friends. Where will the tailgate be held? So Lot G is apparently where Park Heights Prophet and others are gathering. I will be at the Be More Around Town tailgate doing my pregame show, Toofy, as I've done the last couple of years. It's located at 801 West Austin Street, and the Ravens have just signed Sam Mustafer, who spent some time with them in recent years to their practice squad. We had a quick hit on this. They worked him out recently, and now Sam Mustipher, a center and an Owings Mills, Maryland native, has been signed to Baltimore's practice squad. Macta Mahari, Sarah, celebrating a $20 super chat.
She says, I just want to say thank you both for all that you do. I never miss a show, even though I'm usually at work during this time. I'll catch the whole show once I get off. Wishing you all a blessed day. Oh, I love that. I will take a blessed day. Same to you.
Thanks, Macta, and enjoy yourself. Let's see. Big O chiming in. Big O says, I was at LJ's first Jackson 5 game in 2019 against the Rams on Monday Night Football. They had a certain colored jersey on that night. What was it? Was it the Color Rush? I want to say it was. He says, hopefully this Monday will be another Jackson 5 game for the history books. #Vault. I will never forget that game, Sarah. I don't know why. Maybe it was because it was my first true season covering the team. But Joe Tessitore's call of the Jackson 5, I'll just never be able to forget about that. What an iconic start to his career in Los Angeles, of all places. He's taken the league by storm and then puts up his first of what we didn't know then, but we certainly know now, many Jackson 5 performances. Great memory, Eric. Big O, because I got caught looking ahead at this. It's a 50 burger from Eric Hill. Are you kidding me?
Woo!
A 50 burger from Eric Hill.
Because 10 memberships wasn't enough. His $50 super chat wasn't enough. His 2 free tickets in an amazing spot near the 50 in the lower bowl wasn't enough. So now he's got to give out 50 memberships. Woo!
La Cincuenta. 50. A 50 burger from Eric Hill. Remember, we began the show, as I forget about my mic, we began the show at 1,248 channel members. At the moment, if it is populated accordingly, we must be well over, and I mean well over that number. And of course, it's not coming up. So instead, I'll just go, the below times 50. Thank you, Eric, for incredible levels of generosity that have been going for weeks, if not months now. And we really look forward in a few minutes to officially giving away these 2 tickets that he was so kind to offer up today, Sarah. Park Heights Prophet chimes in with a $44 super chat. That's an orange banner. And this one's for you.
He says, calling my shot right now. 44-20 will be the score. Loving the vibes. This game is going to be electric. Lot G rolling about 4:15 or 4:30. Should be in the corner right by the light rail. Let's go hunting. #91. #no picks. #40-point boys. And I believe Park Heights mentioned before that he's going to be cooking for this. Why do I get the feeling that Park Heights is an excellent cook? Like, I feel like he's got some good barbecue going on down there.
I bet you he and Mrs.
Right?
PHP, they must go nuts, which is awesome. That's going to be a fun environment. Appreciate you, PHP, you're the man. Ravens 54th man calling his shot now, 34-21 Ravens, #Vault. So he's entered in. Bro Flacco forgot the hashtag, so he's making sure he enters himself in. And Eric Hill is back, Sarah.
He says, me and a high school teammate and I will be sitting next to whomever wins the tickets. See you there, Bobby, and other Voltrons, #blackout. Okay, so he's giving 2 away, but he will be sitting with whoever wins them.
That's super cool. And I glossed over that in the email. If I did, I'm sorry, but that is awesome. So Eric Hill, whoever wins these, going to have a chance to hang out. Are we former football teammates? I feel like you've talked about this before too, Eric, but it's former football, high school football. Kobe Pruitt says, let's go Dolphins. May you guys have a blessed day. And you want to know why he's rooting on the Miami Dolphins, Sarah?
Who are they playing? Are they playing the Bills?
Thursday night football tonight, AFC East. I would call it showdown, but Miami's just looking pitiful through 2 weeks. JL Green says, good afternoon, Bobby and Sarah. Good afternoon to you, James. Thanks for being here with us. Sam Moore, Sarah.
He says, #Vault. Let's go Ravens. Love the show. Love you guys for making it better.
Heck yeah. Felisa. What's going on? Felisa says, pick me, #Vault. If you do, you'll have randomly been picked. We unfortunately don't have a say, but we appreciate you for being here. Katie says, dang, I want meatloaf, #Vault, celebrating 4 months of channel membership. I got her hungry, I guess. Sod Blitz is for you.
Missed the first half. Yeah, 1 p.m. is half. LOL, hashtag vault. No, it's not. We are not going till 2 today. It's not happening.
No, it's hard to do that, honestly, especially with 3 o'clock press conferences coming up.
I feel like we can do this by 1:30. We need to have squad goals around here.
Yeah, well, don't tell the audience because you know what's about to happen. A run. All right. You just gave them fueled their fire. PHP writes.
Wait. Can we call him Chef PHP since he's cooking this weekend?
Sure. The chef says Eric needs to give this week's pregame pep talk. Fireman. Hashtag the 50 gift man. And so you heard him there, Eric. I guess if you want to come on the show, Sarah will have to figure out when he can and if he wants to and give a little PHP. He's got some big shoes to fill. Park Heights Prophet wasn't joking around the last couple times he's came on, but look forward to potentially looping up with Eric on that front. Darlene Harris for you.
Lot G, here I come, PHP. Hashtag vault, Ravens win.
Very cool. Yvette Biggs celebrating 6 months of channel membership with us inside the vault. She says, get those kittens. Hashtag vault. Kobe Pruitt says, following up on the conversation you had at the end of last stream, I am from Long Island and also a former Jets fan. Went to Maryland Law in Baltimore and decided to root for a team that loves their fans. I think Jake, who turns 30 today, by the way, shout out, happy birthday, Jake. I honestly think he would admit to this, that he cannot stand the team, but it's in a loving way somehow. Like, the Jets have given him so much heartbreak, so much unhappiness, yet there's something about him that keeps him coming back. And I think he speaks for a lot of Jets fans within that fan base. Sporadic Green is celebrating 3 months with us.
Says, just want to say the vibes here is electric. Keep it up and let's go hunting Monday night. Hashtag vault, hashtag darkness.
Eric Hill says he played football, but both of us were on the track team. Okay. Couple former high school track stars you will be sitting with in section 126, depending on who wins this thing. Dana writes, let's get them at 2 p.m. Oh, I was like, what? Yeah. Let's get them at 2 p.m. Hashtag vault. Dana wants another 45 minutes of content. Sarah's beside herself. Antoine Hoskins for you.
This will be an old school Ravens game. King Henry 200 plus. Hashtag vault.
Saad Blitz says if the show was 5 hours, I'd still watch the whole thing. Who knows? Maybe in the future I'll be getting my Ravens news from the Vault Network. Hashtag vault. Saad,
yeah, the Vault Network. Here we go. Now we're thinking. Now we're looking ahead. I like this idea. The Vault Network. Oh yeah. Wait, also 5 hours. How about this, Bobby? If we win the Super Bowl, we could for sure go 5 hours.
I'll just say this. If the Ravens win the Super Bowl, the 2 weeks leading up in between the AFC Championship game and the game itself, and probably the 2 weeks that follow, realistically, are going to be the busiest professional weeks of our lives.
Seriously?
I've thought about it a lot, what it looks like, what it would require, how taxing it would be. We'll get there when we get there. Thank you guys for spending some time. Yes. Thank you guys for spending some time with us on this Thursday. More super chats have come in. We'll get to them in just a bit, but we do have a mini topic 3, if you will, and then some quick hits, patrons, super chats, and out. Not before, of course, handing out randomly these tickets. Odafe Oweh, Sarah, had a chance to catch up with reporters. This video was released on Ravens Productions on their YouTube channel yesterday, and he had this to say. It was a question asked by a reporter related to the injuries at the quarterback position league-wide. There have been a number of them. Joe Burrow, of course, J.J. McCarthy, several others. So Odafe, in the first part of this, answers essentially reacting to that. The second part of it is an accusation made at an unnamed Cleveland Brown. Listen to this.
You know, it's crazy, especially with all the rules that they have to protect them as well. So it sucks, but you know, we're trying to impact the QB as much as we can. We're not trying to injure anybody, but it definitely is crazy anomaly. I saw someone almost try to hurt Lamar last game too. So I don't want anyone else to be injured, but I want for sure Lamar not to be injured. So yeah, I think someone tried to wrap his ankle. twist it the wrong way or like that. They might get fined, but at least it's not one of our guys.
Okay. So kind of going under the radar a little bit. But here's what I have. Teased it earlier on that I watched every single all 22 drop back of Lamar's. And the reason why it was only the dropbacks is what? He only ran it, once, twice, something like that. So it was a heavy day for him, obviously, through the air. And that was their strategy in the second half that ultimately led to victory, 4 passing touchdowns, and great QBR and everything else that went into that after a really slow start, by the way. The one note that I had, there were 2 notes, I guess, but the one that I feel like could be the closest that would match up with Odafe's thoughts here is, and I have it right here, Isaiah McGuire, number 57, defensive player up along Jim Schwartz, defensive front, looked to have gone low on Lamar's ankles. They were backed up in their own end zone. It was a 7-yard completion to Zay across the middle, if I'm jogging any of your memories. But again, Lamar didn't react as if he was bothered by it. And so aside from that, there was one also low hit that Malik Collins, I believe his name is, veteran defensive lineman for Cleveland. That one came to mind. But again, I was rewinding, I was zooming in, I was going end zone angle to sideline angle, and I just couldn't get a good feel for what this could have been.
And he for sure was referring to the Browns game?
Oh, yeah.
The way he said it, he's like, I know that like this last game was the Browns, but the way he said it, it seemed like he was like, that last game. So I just want to make sure he wasn't referring to the Bills.
Yeah, no, my understanding was that it was Sunday. I guess he doesn't come out and specifically say it. And maybe some folks in our live chat are also film junkies and you guys watch, every single aspect of Lamar's all 22 or whatever. And maybe you guys picked up on something that I didn't. Now here comes somebody that thinks that he was talking about that Bills segment. And that makes me want to rerun the comments. Sarah, do you mind?
Go for it.
Let's run this once back. This is Odafe just earlier this week, Ravens Productions.
Crazy, it's crazy, especially with all the rules that they have to protect them as well. So it sucks, but we're trying to impact the QB as much as we can. We're not trying to injure anybody, but it definitely is crazy anomaly. I saw someone almost try to hurt Lamar last game too. So I don't want anyone else to be injured, but I want for sure Lamar not to be injured. So yeah, I think someone tried to wrap his ankle. Twisted the wrong way or like that. They might get fined, but at least it's not one of our guys.
Interesting. Now upon further review, I feel like it could go either way.
Yeah.
Because he goes like this, last game, as if to say, we're talking about Cleveland right now in that moment.
Last
in that
game
scrum.
before that. Yeah.
So maybe it was the Bills game.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess I just watched every single drop back for no reason in the hours that led up to the show. But I was able to tell you that I was able to co-sign Mark's comments that he was blocking his butt off. So at least I got something out of that.
Okay. Well, here's what I do know happened in the Browns game is Jerry Jeudy talked a lot of mess, and Jerry Jeudy didn't do a ton. He had 4 receptions for 51 yards. He was asked by the Browns media, hey, what can you do to get more separation? This guy can't stop talking mess, Bobby. He can't stop talking.
I watched the game.
Did you watch the film or you watched the film?
I did not watch the film. So did they not have you guys covered?
Watch the film and come back.
I'm going to ask you though, what can you guys do to get more separation?
Just keep running routes.
Who the heck's audio was that?
That's a good question. But okay, he's doing one of 2 things here. In case you couldn't hear it, because it was low, it sounds like just a cell phone pointed at him. Asked him how you can create separation. And he's like, did you watch the film? He's like, well, I watched the game. ESPN Cleveland is where I got this from. Thank you, Bobby. ESPN Cleveland. Watch the film and get back to me, he says. So he's doing one of 2 things. Either one, he really didn't get separation and he's lying about it. Or number 2, he's throwing his teammates under the bus. Because if you're separated and you only got 4 catches for 51 yards, you're saying either Joe Flacco didn't get you the ball when you were open, or maybe the offensive line broke down, or maybe all those things are true. But you don't say that. You know what I mean? Go back and watch the film, implying that he's got separation. Maybe he did. But when I watched that game, all I know is on a critical 4th and 5, when they were trying to stay in the game, TJ Tampa was in his hip pocket. He was right there, stride for stride, got the pass breakup to finish the game off. So we can watch all the film we want in the world, but you got 4 catches for 51 yards, no touchdowns, and you scored 10 points until garbage time when you brought in Dylan Gabriel to get the 17 points. So I just don't understand how a guy like that can keep talking mess. Like, take the L and move forward.
Yeah, I haven't watched the film either on Jerry and all the routes. He had some chunk plays. He had a big drop. You're right about Tampa. Tampa clamped him pretty well with that pass breakup in the second half. I'm sure he's just been out of shape about the team that he's playing for, to be quite honest with you. I mean, they're not going nowhere fast in Cleveland. Coming up on week 3, the top 3 favorites in terms of betting favorites. ESPN Bet, Jameson Hensley had this. Ravens lead the way. You see it right here, plus 500. Bills, Packers, heavy favorites as well going into what's going to be a fun week 3. And Ravens, Lions, 8:15 Monday night. Sarah will have pregame coverage. You and I will be live as always at noon on Monday, and then we'll be postgame live streaming probably around midnight.
I think it's interesting. Like, of course, everybody in Baltimore believes that the Ravens are Super Bowl contenders and obviously can go. I just am wondering what Vegas knows, because obviously the Bills beat the Ravens, albeit on the collapse, and they have a much easier schedule than the Ravens. So I'm just curious where these odds come from. You know what I mean? Because like analytically, put in numbers, you'd think with the schedule and the head-to-head win for the Bills that they would be ahead. But you can't. You rarely should doubt Vegas, because they seem to know stuff that the rest of us don't. What's this all about?
Just big-time metrics for Lamar. We'll probably want to go big screen on this one just because this is something else right here. So it came up on my timeline today. Sam Hoppin tweeted out key quarterback stats through 2 weeks. Lamar leads the way in a number of categories, but overall PFF grade, 73.3. That's 15th among all quarterbacks, but he's first in EPA per play.
Obviously.
Of course. He's 4th in success rate. I mean, I'll just read a few others. He's 2nd in clean pocket EPA per play. What else is he? He's 4th in average depth of target. So it's just, you got a ton of quarterbacks on here. Lamar is at the top of this list. He's at the top of the list when you factor it all in, right? He may only have one metric where he's first, but overall, the cumulative roundup of all of these numbers and all of these analytics, he's your top performing quarterback according to PFF and True Media here, as shared by Sam Hoppin among all quarterbacks through 2 weeks.
Well, he's also first. Well, he says, this is according to Jay Kuda. He says, Lamar Jackson is the first quarterback ever to have 45 or more touchdown passes and 3 or fewer interceptions over the span of 17 regular season games, right? So you just take 17. It's not 17 in one season, but span it. 45 to 3, which we talked about earlier, but I did not know he's the first quarterback ever to do that. He says the next closest was Tom Brady, who had 49 touchdowns to 5 interceptions over 17 games between 2006 and 2007. That's what he's doing these days.
Yeah, you could go on and on and on with some of these, and I'm sure he continues to stack like this, and accounts like these will continue to go on and on because you got to keep track of them. Ravens are bringing in Sam Mustipher. We mentioned this earlier on. They worked him out, as Luke Jones noted, and then just 4 minutes ago, they've officially added him, and the teams announced this move to their practice squad. He's a former Owings Mills football player. I mean, he grew up in Owings Mills. He's a native of Owings Mills, Maryland. And remember, Nick Samac, their former 7th rounder in 2024, was claimed off the practice squad by Carolina earlier this week. On top of that, and Brian McFarland had a note that reminded me of this as well. JT Gray, who was just brought in recently after being cut by the Saints as sort of a special teams ace and a veteran at that, he was placed on the practice squad injured reserve. So they've re-signed Malik Ham this week, Sarah, at the outside linebacker position, and they're bringing back Sam Mustipher to be a practice squad reserve player for him.
Yeah, when this news first came out from Luke Jones, when he tweeted it, everybody was hoping that was like, because they also worked out a guard. He's like, ooh, are they going to finally bring in competition for the guards? No, this is just for practice squad stuff. Nothing like that, as much as you'd like it to be. Meanwhile, we kind of had a conversation recently about the Ravens' ability to develop quarterbacks. And with the Shedeur Sanders news that he turned down to be drafted by the Ravens because he didn't want to play behind Lamar Jackson. I saw some people say, like, the Ravens don't develop quarterbacks. Now, there's a history of quarterback, but obviously there's Joe Flacco and there's Lamar Jackson. But as backups, Tyler Huntley did get a shot at starting several places because of his time in Baltimore. He was an undrafted quarterback. He didn't really catch on fire as a starter, but he did get opportunities because of his quote unquote Pro Bowl year, with the Ravens. And so certainly played above what you would expect from an undrafted quarterback. And this is another one with Tyrod Taylor, who has gone on after being a 6th-round pick by the Ravens. In 2011, he was the next quarterback drafted after Joe Flacco in 2008. And he's been a starter before, hasn't been a starter for a while, but he's going to start again this weekend. Because of a concussion to Jets quarterback Justin Fields. Yeah. So Tyrod Taylor is going to get a start this weekend for the Jets.
I need to be reminded of what happened to him in LA, or he was somewhere on the West Coast. And I'm pretty sure a lung was punctured at some point pregame that really derailed him after a really solid start. So let me just do a quick little... Yeah, here it is. It comes right up immediately. A team doctor for the Chargers back in September of 2020 accidentally punctured Tyrod's lung before kickoff. Oh. And that may have been, and I got to go back and look at and remind myself of sort of when Justin Herbert came into the picture and whatnot. But he was playing good football, if memory serves, back then. And so, yes, okay, so it was the Chargers. Google's helping me remind. It just popped up in my head, Sarah, that he's been dealt a couple blows, and this certainly was one of them. So I'm happy for him. I hope he goes out there. But yeah, that's a true story. A team doctor for the Chargers at the time.
So it wasn't the Bills. It was. I remember the lung puncture story, but it was for sure the Chargers, not the Bills.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So hey, best of luck to him. Jets have not looked good so far to start this season, or particularly week 2. They didn't look great week 1 either. So best of luck to him. And then to your point, I mean, yeah, right. Even throughout the Lamar era, Trace McSorley got a second chance outside of Baltimore. Tyler Huntley's got multiple chances, to your point. Devin Leary's probably the outlier. I don't think he's going to get another chance. Is Anthony Brown still in the league? I don't know. He might be on a practice squad somewhere. Remember Buffalo brought him in before their playoff game last year.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm not trying to pretend the Ravens are like some quarterback, powerhouse in terms of developing guys out of nowhere. I'm just saying, like, had Shedeur Sanders come here, like, there are other guys that went on as late round picks and got opportunities to start. And if Shedeur Sanders is as good as I think he can be, I think he could have had that opportunity also.
4.5-point home favorites are the Ravens on Monday night. Lamar's 24-2 against the NFC all-time. That's the best winning percentage at .923 for a quarterback against the opposing conference in NFL history. So you can add that to this laundry list of historical achievements for Lamar. Unbelievable. Should be a blockbuster game, Sarah. Onto the primetime lights. He's been utterly dominant in this format over the years, and it's going to be black on black.
Oh, definitely my favorite look. My second favorite is the new alternate helmet look and the color rush. That's my second favorite. But there's nothing that beats the blackout at primetime at M&T Bank Stadium.
And we noted
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, we just noted it earlier in the week with all the extras that they got going on, right? The wristband giveaway. Carmelo is going to be the honorary captain. Samantha Polino, friend of the show, is going to sing the national anthem. Michael Pierce will be a legend of the game. Lots open up at 3:45. I know there's a calendar invite for PHP. He's got that ready to roll. Ravens walk 5:15. Gates open up at 6:15, and Good Charlotte's going to be the halftime performing show. So lots being rolled out for this one, Sarah, just in terms of the entertainment value.
What do you got here with the punter EPA?
Oh, it's a little bit of love for Jordan Stout. I know this is a rare day where I bring in a lot of quick hits, which is not, it's very uncommon. Jordan Stout here. This is at the punt runts, data that you can find at NFL Fast R. Okay. We're looking at punters over punter EPA per punt above expected. Try saying that 10 times fast. It's tracking punters' performance. And look at number 11. He needed a bounce back year, Sarah, after last season. And Jordan Stout, through 2 weeks, the third highest rated, according to this chart right here, by punter EPA, third highest rater, and I should say highest rated punter league-wide behind Kansas City's and Philadelphia's. Good for Jordan.
There you go, Jordan. Very nice. And Bobby, we've got in some of the top rushers in the league and the top tacklers. If you want to look at the top 5 rushers, Derrick Henry, despite being completely shut down, or not completely, I think 20 some odd yards against the Browns. He's third in the league at 192. That just lets you know how he went off in week 1. So he's still number 3. James Cook with the Bills right behind him in number 4 with 176 rushing yards. Number 1, Jonathan Taylor. Number 2, Travis, am I going to say his name right? Etienne. Okay, top 5 tacklers. Roquan Smith coming in at number 2 with 25. How many did he have? He had 15 last week, combined tackles?
15 combined.
Yeah. Double digits in both games, 10 and then 15. Roquan, remember we said it was the easiest prediction ever. We both said he's going to have a comeback year. So far, he's making that prediction right. But again, it was pretty obvious that he had a down year. Didn't expect Roquan to stay down for too long, but it's only week 2. Keep climbing, Ro.
And a down week 1, really. I mean, if we're calling a spade, it just wasn't good enough against the Bills. And our old friend, Tony Jefferson, as you would have expected, because he just hangs around, keeps himself available, keeps himself in great shape, wanted nothing to do with Ravens scouting internships. I'm just kidding. He went and did that a couple years ago, then unretires. And now he is back on the Chargers 53-man roster. He's been on their practice squad for the first couple weeks, Sarah. He started on Monday night and delivered 5 tackles, 2 pass deflections, and 1 interception. So it looks like he had already been activated. I didn't even know that. He had been activated off the practice squad for the Chargers Monday night win, and now they're rewarding him with a 53-man roster spot. So happy for him. Huge favorite, huge fan favorite, friend of the show. His career continues.
Good for him, man. And I love it because he's kind of like where his family is. He's got a team. It's kind of like a Brent Urban situation, it feels like.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm around. When y'all need me, let me know. I'm right here.
Why not, right? They're on the other side of 30. They still love the game. They still feel like they can contribute. Best wishes to Tony as he gets back on the 53 with Jim Harbaugh and company. Patrons and Super Chats, all that separates us from today's giveaway. Get your hashtag Vault comments in. It's the final call for 2 tickets. Section 126 at the bank under the primetime lights on Monday night. Thanks to Eric Hill and his generosity. We're getting those out to you in just a few moments.
So far, we have 187 entries. So it's competitive. Only one can win out of 187.
Thank you for sharing that. That's one of our biggest, I'd say that's one of our most attended giveaways, most participated giveaways to date. Kobe Pruitt is in the house, and he was responding to my Jets comment earlier. He says his relationship with the team was abusive for that reason. Joe Jenkins says, dang, Eric Hill and PHP making me feel bad. What do you mean, dude? You dropped the 50 spot today. You got nothing to feel ashamed about. The Bull 9474, partner.
Hashtag Vault. Love a Ray Lewis speech before every game.
PHP celebrating 6 months of channel membership. As we get close, I do need a head count. Who is coming to Lot G? Put hashtag Lot G in the chat. Trying to plan as best I can But if you want food, arrive early, LOL. I will be cooking S. Owe you an email, BT. Love it. PHP, man. He is a man of the people. Sarah looks like he's going to be getting after it out there and inviting a bunch of Voltrons to his Lot G tailgate. Joe Jenkins for you.
He says, if we get to the Super Bowl, 5 hours are Snapchats.
Going to be insane if they do. The coverage going along the way. Wow. Nagasaki 20 says Lamar doesn't complain to get calls. Part of the reason he doesn't get the same amount of his fellow quarterbacks that they get. Hashtag Vault. Sean Carter for you.
You guys rock, and I love your coverage. I've been a Ravens fan since 97. Let's go Ravens. Hashtag Vault.
Year 2 of the inception. Pretty cool. Tamar Jackson. Tamar Jackson celebrating 2 months of channel membership. Can't wait for the game. Tamar, is that your real name? That's awesome if that's the case. Appreciate your support. Dana, for you.
It's 1:30. Evil laugh.
Sarah, they got you right where they want you.
It's 1:37, actually. What's going on here?
I know it. 39KJ66 says, appreciate all the hard work, Sarah and Bobby. The Voltron community is amazing. Go Flock. Hashtag Vault. Hashtag 1901. 39KJ66. Thank you. We think you guys are all amazing individually. Tamar gets himself just to make sure that he's entered into the giveaway with the hashtag Vault. And Saad says, is it 1 entry per person or 1 per? No, you put as many hashtags in there as you want, and our system is going to randomly throw it together in just a couple minutes to give this thing away. Sarah, why don't you get that thing ready to go? Stephen Fear the Turtle and Jason Zaratniak are our patrons of this episode. They give us support through Patreon on a monthly basis, and we appreciate them. So Stephen, Jason, thank you both. Enjoy this weekend. Thank you for your support. And if you guys are interested in doing the same, go visit patreon.com/RavensVault podcast. We've got a great community there. Dre Dog says, remind folks the hashtag Vault only applies to super chats. That's actually not true anymore. It was last year, Dre. If you put a hashtag into a comment, whether it's a super chat or a chat, you are entered into this thing. So that was a new feature that we decided to go with as of several months back. Sarah, get this wheel of fortune, if you will, going, will you?
Why am I nervous? I'm not even entered in. I'm like, you cannot have these tickets, and yet I'm nervous. We are up to 201 entries. Here we go.
And Sherry gets hers in before this.
Oh, Sherry, last minute.
Look at the entries. Last minute.
Sean Carter, who just had a super chat.
What's good, Sean Carter?
Wait, Sean, tell us your story. Are you in Baltimore? Are you going to have to travel in? Do you know Eric Hill? Like, is this going to be a budding friendship? I need to know more about Sean Carter.
Why do I low-key have this weird feeling that Sean was the one yesterday who suggested that because some would indeed need to travel, that we should do it today?
I don't think that was Sean. No, it was a different profile picture.
All right.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's not.
Okay.
Sean, you better be here or we're going to redraw, buddy. We're not messing around here.
Sean, where are you at?
Where are you at? And I also want an email expeditiously.
Yeah, I was going to say, why don't you take a look at the live chat real quick? And I'm going to go ahead and throw out some instructions for what we need from Sean. Come on now, Sean. Be with us. Okay, so Sean, BaltimoreRavensVault@gmail.com is how you get in touch with us, as you can see on the screen right now on the bottom line. Okay. We will then put you in touch with Eric, who will get you your tickets. And just to reiterate that, Sarah, Eric Hill is the whole reason why these tickets and this giveaway today exists. So thank you to Sean for participating. Thank you to Eric for making this possible. And we're still looking for Sean to make himself available. What a bummer if that's not the case. Tweets are starting to come in from practice. And
yeah, I've got video of it. I've got video. I'm pulling it in. Yep. Go ahead, Bobby.
No, it's okay. Isaiah Likely's back at practice. So potentially his first full participation sure looks like is what we're looking at today after running on a side field at times last week.
I was going to say he returned last week, but it was in limited capacity.
Yep.
This is the way he's looking right now. This is, of course, let me make this a little bit bigger. This is courtesy of Ravens Twitter account. So just, nothing too big here. Just running a few blocking drills, looks like.
Yep.
He's got a little stutter step, though, like the way he's coming in. Not big cutting or whatever, but obviously testing that foot. Seems to be pretty smooth in this little limited action that we're seeing.
Yep.
Very limited action, I might add.
Yep. As for the rest of the practice report, not present during the media viewing, according to both Smoka's observations, Nate Wiggins, he'd be a new name. Pat
Yeah.
Ricard, not a surprise. Kyle Van Noy, not a surprise. Nnamdi Madubuike, that would be a new one.
Mhm.
And John Jenkins would be a new one.
Remember,
Now, notably, Marlon Humphrey is at practice, and that's good for him because he was banged up on Sunday.
remember Madubuike missed the first practice last week also. And then
I
he
do.
returned Thursday, Friday, and played in the Sunday game. So who knows if this is going to be a regular arrangement? We don't know.
I do.
But I have not seen Sean.
Darn.
Sean. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, what a total bummer. Let's read a couple. Should we just read a few super chats to give him one more minute?
Sure.
Because we got him here. Sod Blitz says, been a fan since 95 when it was announced. Cleveland was ripping out the seats I was looking at who we might have on the team before we had a name. #Vault, going back to his early days of fandom. Thanks, Sod. And why don't you get this one? And before you do, Rasheen Ali, who, of course, left the game with a concussion, on the practice field, but he's in a red non-contact jersey, according to Bo. So that'll be something to watch in terms of how he trends this week, Sarah, because Keaton Mitchell's game day activity may or may not depend on his status.
Well, yeah, I guess so. The one I'm really looking at, Nnamdi Madubuike, of course. Nate Wiggins, again, like you said, it's a new one. So I'm sure Jen will be asked. He probably won't answer because he's in his in-season form. But yeah, that'll be interesting. Did you say you want me to read this one from Eric?
Please.
Okay, roses are red, violets are blue. I am so glad that we are cheering on the beatdown of the team in light blue. Congratulations to the winners of the tickets giveaway. See you at the bank. #M&T, bring the energy. Oh, Eric Hill will not stand for whoever wins this. He will not stand for any quietness out there. You got to be in your all black. You got to be in your blackout. And you got to scream. You essentially, if you haven't lost your voice Monday night, then did you really do your job?
Darn. Deshaun Davis says, quote, not going till 2 today. #Vault. We're 16 minutes out, Deshaun. We ain't doing that.
We're still, okay, listen, we're going to do a redraw, right? We're good to go?
Yeah, and let me just say this, if I could. We made this decision recently, Sarah, to do the redraw when folks aren't here with us live, solely based on, one, I guess the integrity of the giveaway, right? And two, to I think incentivize folks to join us on a live basis. We want to incentivize people that are joining us in live formatting, if that makes sense. And so the super chats continue to buy Sean time. They're trying. Katie says 2 tickets to Monday Night Football. Pack my bags. Leave tonight. #Vault. Sarah, we got to redraw. Sadly, we have to redraw. Oh,
well,
such a bummer.
It is a bummer. But we should probably announce that when we talk about the giveaway. We should probably let them know earlier, like you better be here at the end of the show.
Yeah, I think we've said it once, but maybe we need to reiterate it.
Yeah, I don't think we should reiterate it when we're announcing the draw.
Yeah, I'm with you.
From off the top. Here we go again. Why is it showing that? This is the stuff that bothers me about StreamYard. Help me out here, buddy. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, Sean. Maybe next time, Sean.
Goodbye, Sean. Here we go. I do love you, Sean. I appreciate your super chat, but you got to stick around. Draw again. Here we go. Here we go. You better be here, whoever you are.
Oh,
by the way, that moved up to 217 entries. Jackie.
Jackie,
where
are you
at,
in the house?
Jackie?
Man.
Jackie.
Oh,
by the
man.
way, when Sherry gave her super chat, I got that song stuck in my head. Sherry, Baby.
Come on, let's
Jackie's
go.
here. She says, I'm here.
Congratulations, Jackie. Congratulations. And you know the drill, Jackie. Maybe you've been watching in the last few moments or so, but what we need from you in order for you to be able to claim these tickets is just simply emailing us at BaltimoreRavensVault@gmail.com. And we will ultimately put you in touch with Mr. Generous himself, which is the whole reason that this giveaway exists today. Eric Hill has been such an advocate, Sarah, for this channel, such a community supporter, such an awesome guy. Jackie, we're going to let you know right now and show you, I should say, where you're going to be sitting next to Eric and his high school teammate. They were track stars. At least that's how I view them. Here is section 126 and a look at the bank come Sunday night, and I should say Monday night. And let's go ahead and big screen this sucker so you guys can see what it is that you're going to be looking at. And I'll remove this and take a look. I know, Mike, you imagine if Sean shows up any second now. But here you have it. Section 126, Sarah, right inside that midfield line, man. It is right there at the bank Monday night. Email us at BaltimoreRavensVault@gmail.com. Congratulations. And a huge, huge thank you to Eric Hill, Sarah, for just an unbelievable amount of support, not only for our community, but for us and this show.
Jackie, where are you going to be coming from? Are you in the Baltimore area? Who are you going to take with you? And do you have your all black ready? I need to know these things just for fun. Just for fun.
Awesome.
Good for you. She says, thank you to Eric in the vault. Really generous stuff from Eric. Eric just blessing all of us here inside the vault.
Yeah, it's cool. And Jackie, we can't wait to hopefully see some content from you guys. It'd be awesome to get a selfie of the four of you, right? Whoever you bring, Eric and his friend, maybe a selfie once you guys get into your seats, and we'll have a chance to shout you guys out on Monday night's post-game show if you could. That'd be awesome.
She says her husband and son will need to fight it out. That is going to be a difficult decision.
I love it.
I'm pretty sure my son would win that fight.
I love it. He's getting
my
bigger
husband's
and bigger.
too nice. He's too nice. And she lives near Annapolis. Okay, so she's ready for this. She's in the area. She's got a +1 that are going to have to fight it out. I love it. She's ready.
Awesome, Jackie. Patrick Griggs checking in, says going to the Rams game in a few weeks. Monday night would be cool too. #Vault. And it goes to Jackie. Thank you all for participating. It must have been over 200.
Eric does not want Eric's trying to get us to 2:00. Eric, we have goals. Bobby, I swear on my life, it's going to be 1:59 or less if it's the last thing I do. If it's the last thing I do.
I know what's going to put you over that, and you're going to have to kick and scream on the way out. I know exactly what's going to have to put you over that. A 20 gift. I honestly, like, seriously, my voice hurts. Okay. Eric Hill has gifted 20 channel memberships. We started at 1,248. I'm going to get a quick count. While I do, muster up the energy that it takes. I know I probably sound like I'm not grateful right now. I am very grateful, Sarah. We are at 1,323. You were going to suggest something.
I was just going to say Jackie's going to wear her Zay Flowers jersey. I just wanted to put that out there.
Okay.
And cue it. Cue it.
Yeah, easy for you to say. Huh?
Don't whine about it. Just do it.
Easy for you. Yeah. Whining, the guy that can barely even hear his vocals, throat, vocal cords, everything else. Eric, you're incredible. A 20 VAULTRON channel membership gift. Sarah, we are approaching 1,500 in the coming days, perhaps.
Bobby, Sean showed up. Sorry, Sean. You took too long, buddy. You took too long.
No.
Sean, those tickets are Jackie's now. Dude, where'd you go? Where did you go?
Sean, I will personally gift you something that you want on thevaultpod.com/shop.
There you go.
Let me know what you want. I will personally gift you something on thevaultpod.com/shop. We will be more communicative consistently moving forward to Sarah's recommendation about these rules that we have in place. It's simply, honestly, guys, it's simply because of timing. When we gift something out in the past, we haven't heard from them. And so when we're working with brands, when we're working in this case with a generous subscriber in Eric Hill, it just makes for facilitation difficulty. And so that's why we're doing it. We're not forcing you to stay with us live. I get it. 2 hours is a long time to stay live. It's simply just a logistical back end thing that we're doing this for. So apologies. Thank you for understanding. Email us at BaltimoreRavensVault@gmail.com with something you'd like on the merch store, and I will personally send that your way. Liv B writes, "We know Bobby." I'm getting shots here now, huh? She says it takes. I know. Look, there's one thing about my radio style. I try to cover a lot of ground, and yes, sometimes I ramble and over talk and probably say something. Sarah, maybe you know this as my partner, that could take 2 minutes and it takes 5 instead because I like to be thorough. So Liv's calling that out. Thank you, Liv. Sean Carter says, "I will be there." Where are you gonna be?
He can go to Lot G, maybe, and
Lot G.
get some barbecue.
Come to be more around town, Sean.
Sorry,
Apologies,
Sean.
man. Apologies. So anyway, not everybody's going to be pleased with it, but that's how we're doing it. And Sean, we hope that you'll email us regardless. And congratulations to Jackie. Thanks to all of you for spending some time in all seriousness with us today. Really special week here on a number of fronts.
Sean's very far behind.
I think he's behind.
So behind.
Oh no, Sarah, he's behind.
His heart is going to drop once he catches up.
Oh no, he's behind on the show. Son of a frick, man. That makes it worse. I thought he was going to be. Oh no. Dana says this is close enough for me for 2:00. We got to go.
Yeah.
Says hashtag Bobby after 2. Park Heights Prophet says bring the cane to Lot G. Sean. I don't know what that means. You guys are incredible. Oh man, like the video on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Hit that notification bell. I'm not laughing at Sean. We're laughing at what's happening right now. There's no perfect way to make everybody happy. I'm sorry, guys. For Sarah Ellison, I'm Bobby Trossett signing off from this Thursday Ravens Lunch Hour.
At 1:54, let it be known we're starting off at 1:54.
At 1:54. I hope he emails us. Jackie, please email us. Eric, thank you so much for your generosity. You are the man. Sarah, go read that email when you get a chance. It was really powerful. Thank you, guys.
Hurry up, Bobby. You do take 10 minutes.
I'm just laughing
For
at the fact.
Bobby Trossett, I'm Sarah Ellison. Thank you for coming in on this edition of Ravens Vault. We will be back here in 24 hours to preview with the TBD guest, the Lions-Ravens Monday night. See you then.